with many blessed events like this one. Oh, what's the matter, young fella?
Sam, you don't know how to hold the baby. Oh, please, here, let me hold him. I've got one just this age it is. Dear handshake.
Should have brought you brownie.
Where's the baby?
There.
Where's his mother?
Mother? I don't really know right now.
Melanie, you've got to get a hold of her right away.
I think she's out of town. It's impossible. Why?
You'd better find her, or we're going to have an epidemic on our hands.
Epidemic? What are you talking about? What's wrong with him?
I don't know how it happened, but the kid's got pneumonic plague.
Plague? How long are we going to be here? I got to get home to my kids.
Believe me, we'll get you out of here as soon as possible.
Any change in the baby?
We're watching him closely. It's lucky you brought him in.
Well, we should tell that to Trapper. I think he holds me responsible for this entire mess. Could I see the baby? Just for a minute.
But not while he's in isolation. As it is, you've had too much exposure to him already.
Well, then when?
Maybe when his fever's down, provided you don't show any symptoms yourself.
Symptoms? How long could that take?
We've got to keep all of you under observation for at least 6 days.
6 days?
Arnold, we can't quarantine that entire wedding party. Take an entire wing to accommodate them.
4 East will do very well. I mean, after all, we can't push them out on the streets. We can't take the chance. I got to think about the reputation of the hospital.
What about the reputation of the hospital?
I checked with the health department. All we have to do is give them prophylactic antibiotics, quarantine them at home, have them check the temperatures twice a day. We don't have to keep all those people here.
He's right, Arnie. They're becoming a nuisance.
Trapper, we're talking about pneumonic plague.
A very infectious disease, John.
Arnold, the chances of anybody in that wedding party being contaminated is minimal.
Especially if they're treated with tetracycline.
But if one of them, just one of them, comes down with it, whom do you think they will pick on then?
And wouldn't we be slapped with a nasty little lawsuit?
And you were exposed to it, Trapper. And so was Gates. What precautions are you taking?
Well, we're keeping ourselves under medical surveillance, taking antibiotics, and we both had the anti-plague vaccine in the service.
And that should certainly be sufficient.
Well, I'm going by the book on this one, Doctor. And it's up to you to see that everyone gives me their total support.
We're counting on you, John. Talk to you, Arnold. Just want to tell you what a magnificent job you've been doing under this.
Inhalation therapist, do I see you? Inhalation therapist, do I see you?
Tell your father she's going to have to fix dinner. I won't be home. Laurie, are you listening to me? Look,
No.
Laurie, what's going on there? Just put your brother on the phone right now. Right now. You hear me, Laurie? Now.
Oh, Melanie?
Oh, Trapper, hi. Any leads on the baby's parents?
Oh, no, not yet. The police report was filed a bit late, if you'll recall. It's Mr. Hughes. He's from the Public Health Service.
Oh, Mr. Hughes. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Vernon, I've found that informality is essential during epidemics. It eases the tension. I worked that cholera job in India a few years ago.
I told Mr. Hughes about...
Vernon.
Yes, of course. About you and the baby. He wants to ask some questions.
Won't you sit down, please?
Sure. Thank you.
Well, first of all, we've got to have a fix on the source. That's always our main target, you know. Now, at this point, we only have one victim, an infant.
Right.
Dr. McIntyre tells me that you found the child.
Yes, I did. In a fitting room at Bradshaw's, where I work.
Bradshaw's? What do you do there?
Well, I've been assistant buyer in sportswear for about 6 months.
Assistant buyer?
Vernon, we have a potential epidemic on our hands. What do you suggest we do about it?
Well, most importantly, we have got to find out where the baby came from. Mrs. McIntyre, do you remember seeing anyone with an infant or carrying a basket, anything like that?
No, nobody. I'm sorry.
Doctor, I suggest that you and your staff carefully examine all of those people, and I think that Mrs. McIntyre and I should sit here and analyze every aspect of the situation. You don't mind, do you?
Oh, no, not at all, Vernon.
Good, good. Will you excuse us, Doctor? An assistant buyer. That is fascinating.
You tell me about that cholera job in India.
What did you say the symptoms were again?
Restlessness, coughing, muscle ache, delirium, high fever.
Fever, that's it. I'm burning up. This place is so hot, I think I'm gonna pop.
Oh, well, that's because we turned the air conditioning off in this section, sir. You wouldn't want the plague germs to be going through the air duct.
I'd rather have the plague.
Dougie, I told you once, and I'm not going to tell you again. You are not to throw ice at your sister. I don't care who started it.
Still by.
Oh, I wish I could get to be dummy once in a while.
You okay?
Fine. Just waiting around till I can see the baby.
Seems to be holding his own.
Trapper, be honest with me. What are his chances?
Well, his fever is still pretty high, but if we can control it and keep him from going into convulsions or shock in the next several hours, I think it'll be okay.
He's just gotta make it. He's just got to.
Look, Melanie, just because you found the baby, you don't have to feel responsible.
But I do feel responsible.
Okay, but he's here now. You did your part.
Trapper, I've been thinking. When he gets better and can leave here, they'll probably put him in a foster home. That is, until they find someone who can adopt him.
And you're going to volunteer for the foster home, right?
No. I thought maybe I would adopt him.
Adopt?
Permanently, for my own. Well, don't look so stunned. You have to admit, I was a pretty terrific mother.
Yes, you were. You brought up two beautiful kids. And you should know more than anybody else that you don't adopt a child on a whim.
Whim? I've given this a lot of thought.
What's the matter? Isn't the career what you thought it would be?
That has nothing to do with it. Single people, working people are adopting kids all the time now.
Melanie, this whole thing...
Trapper, I don't care what you say. I'm totally serious. I've made up my mind. I'm going to adopt this child. Now, you can either help me or not.
Dr. Jung, line 1. Dr. Jung, line 1.
Whoa, hold on. Can't go in there.
I have to go in there.
No, it's quarantined. I can't
I
let you
have
in.
to see Tony. Tony Ramirez. He's in there, right?
Sorry, I don't...
What about Mrs. McIntyre? She's in there. I know she is.
She's part of the quarantine.
Then you have to let me in. She knows about Tony.
Listen, I'm sorry.
Tony Ramirez, my baby.
Your baby?
Yes, my baby, my kid, the one she's got. I'm Tony's mother, and I want him.
What do you mean it's her baby?
She identified him right down to the last mole. It's her kid, Melanie.
Are they absolutely sure?
I don't get it. I should think you'd be happy, relieved that we found the mother.
Oh, I am. Still.
Still?
Well, I just think it's strange, don't you? Why would a mother abandon a child in the first place?
All I want to do now is get my baby and go.
You see, I don't think you understand. We're not talking cold and flu. We're talking pneumonic plague. We're talking epidemics.
Mrs. Ramirez, we need to know where you've been, where your baby's been, and if anyone else has been exposed to it.
I didn't know my baby was sick. I never would have left my Tony if I knew he was sick.
Yes, but you left him alone in a department store.
I did not leave him alone. I left him with a friend.
A friend?
I needed work. I had a chance to find a job. I thought I'd be gone only a couple of hours.
Elena, we have to know who you left the baby with. Please.
Well, that can't be her.